Hey, yo, what's goody?
The title of this one is called My Boyfriend Wants to Move In With Me, but I Want Him to Live Alone First. She continues by saying, My boyfriend and I have been together for 10 months. He lives with his parents, around their 50s, male and female, and their younger brothers, 10, 16, and 18. No sisters. Before current events, he was over at my place basically every night. A couple of nights ago, he said that he wanted to move in with me, if I'm up for it. I've been to his place more than once, and I've seen how their dynamic works. His mother does everything for all 5 men in that house. Cooking, cleaning, the works. Basically, all they have to do is put their laundry away after she washes, dries, irons, and folds it. The reason the parents aren't forcing them to contribute is that this was the parents' agreements. He works and she's a stay-at-home mom, so she raises the kids and runs the household and he pays for everything. With one of the clauses being that she's doing everything, there's no need to involve the boys. As a result, my boyfriend cannot do anything. I don't know how much of this is actual cluelessness and how much of him is trying to get out of stuff, but he has told me, completely sincere, and I checked this with his mother, that he can't even fry an egg. Which is why when my boyfriend suggested moving in together, I said I wanted him to live alone first. And that's fair. That is completely fair. She is a wise woman. And also, it's important for every man to live alone at least once in their life, because come on, how are you going to gain that, life experience if you haven't lived alone, if you haven't been there for yourself and you've had just everyone around you do things for you? I think that this woman is right. It's important, especially for a man, to first live alone and then move in with his partner, because if you live alone, it's going to force you to learn things that if you have a partner there for you, it's going to be too easy for you. You're not going to be learning the life skills necessary in order to build a successful home. But let's continue the story. His plan was basically to go straight from his mother's house to my flat. I told him my hesitation, which is that he can't do chores. He then offered to pay more than the rent, 75% actually, in exchange for me doing all the chores. I said no. I don't want to be his mother or his maid. I want to be his girlfriend. That's right, girl. You better. You better stick up for yourself. That man is trying to make you do all of his chores, do all of these things because that's what he's used to. His mother was doing all of these things for him and he's trying to continue that with you. And this man in particular, your boyfriend, has to learn that the world doesn't work that way. In my opinion, I think that he was babied by his mother, and that's not a really good thing, especially for a man. I think that, as a man, you should be able to at least cook for yourself sometimes, or at least clean up after yourself. It's just like simple things that a decent human being should just learn how to do, in my opinion. She continues. Then I told him I wanted him to live alone, go from his mother's house to his own place, figure out how to do all the things he's never done for himself, learn some basic life skills, and then revisit us living together. This has caused a huge argument, biggest we've ever had. He's taken me saying he has no life skills as an insult, which it kind of was, to be fair, and basically said that clearly I don't want to live with him at all, as I've pushed the moving in time back and have only said that we'd revisit it after a few months of him living alone. And I say revisit because I wanted to make sure that he actually knew what he was doing and wouldn't immediately switch back to offering more rent or no chores. And that's fair. That's what I was saying. It's important for men in particular to learn how to do basic life skills, because without these basic life skills, this partner that you have, might not be in your life forever. So what are you going to do? You're going to move back in with your mother? Come on. You have to learn these things for yourself because you want to be able to be independent and you want to be able to be your own person, right? if you're relying on your mother and your girlfriend for everything that you're doing, then you're not really being the man of the house, right? You're just kind of having everyone's like do everything for you, and that's not cool for anyone. It's just going to be a lot of pent up aggression in the house. There's going to be a lot of tension. There's just going to be a lot of things going on in the house that it's not going to make the relationship last if everyone is not doing their job. And at the same time, you can't just pay people off with money. You know, she's not your maid, like she said. So why are you trying to pay her off to do the chores? If you obviously dirty something in the dishes, what's the harm in cleaning it, you know? But she continues in saying, this was all a couple nights ago, and he just stopped talking to me. He's at his mom's, and he's online, and he's talking to mutual friends who have said he is responding. He just won't answer any of my calls or texts. He's told our friends what happened, and they're all on his side, saying I was really mean and cruel. I love him, and I do want to live with him eventually. I just don't want to live with him if I'm doing everything. And the one thing I don't want is him paying extra for me to do all the housework. And then she asks, is there some sort of compromise or some option I'm not seeing? What can I do to fix this? Okay, so in this instance, he is definitely being very immature. He is not responding to your messages. He's not hearing your side of the story. And he's not understanding that you also have needs. If he's moving into your place, he has to contribute more than just putting in more of the rent and things like that. He has to contribute also physically. You know, the housework takes a lot of work and energy, and who knows, maybe you are also working. And both, there has to be a 50-50, right? There has to be, matter of fact, not even 50-50. There has to be 100-100. Or sometimes when a person is feeling 70, you have to make sure you fill that rest of the gap up. So if everyone is doing all the housework and the other person is kind of just like relaxing and laying around, that's not fair. That's not fair for those who are doing all of the housework, unless that was something that was agreed upon. However, she's clearly saying that she doesn't want the man to do that, right? So in my opinion, I think that you should really reconsider living with him and even being with this man. If he's not willing to hear out your statements, if he's not willing to hear you out, then cut him loose, because it's just going to get worse. If he's acting like this now, before you guys move in, imagine when you guys move in, how worse it's going to be for you. And I think that moving in with someone is a big step, because you get to see all sides of it, not just the pretty sides that they want you to see in the beginning or in the middle, all of it. And trust me, it's going to take a lot of work to keep a relationship going like that. And it's not easy. However, if the other partner is not willing to compromise and listen to what you're saying, is it really worth it? Is it really worth your peace of mind? So guys, just think about, before you move in with someone, just think about everything, right? Think about your values, think about your morals, and even think about how you demand respect. If this person is not respecting you in any type of way, it's time to reevaluate. It's time to think about these things and how long you're willing to actually keep up with those things. So in this case, it's important that the guy learns how to live on his own, because if he doesn't, no one's going to be there for the rest of his life to do things for him. Unless he hires like a private maid and he has a whole bunch of money, but it doesn't say that that's the case. So in the end, please choose your partners wisely, guys, and make sure you communicate with these people, because moving in together is a really big step. So just make sure that you know the person on all sides before doing so. Thank you for listening to this podcast. I will be coming up with my next few podcasts, so stay tuned and make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Peace.